not about taking away citizenship. So this must be underlined. It addresses the issue of statelessness, provides human dignity, and supports human rights. As regards the US State Department's statement on the implementation of CAA, and there have been comments made by several others, we are of the view that it is misplaced, misinformed, and unwarranted. India's constitution guarantees freedom of religion to all its citizens. There are no grounds for any concern or treatment of minorities. Vote bank politics should not determine views about a laudable initiative to help those in distress. Lectures by those who have a limited understanding of India's pluralistic traditions and the region's post-partition history are best not attempted. Partners and well-wishers of India should welcome the intent with which this step has been taken. So that is our point on CAA to the questions that you asked. Kumar, regarding your question on 2+2, this is the first time that we had this dialogue with Brazil involving Foreign Ministry and Defense Ministry. Brazil, as you know, that is a strategic partner for us. This dialogue was held at the level of Additional Secretary, Joint Secretary. We want to strengthen our strategic partnership. We also want to strengthen our defense cooperation. To do more, already there are several things that are happening, including military exercises. There are also ongoing conversations regarding joint production, trade, etc. So the idea of 2+2 dialogue is to give a boost, further boost to India-Brazil strategic partnership. Ayushi, on your question regarding, Haiti. We have established a control room here in the Ministry of External Affairs. We have emergency helpline numbers. Our embassy in Santo Domingo in Dominican Republic, which has the accreditation for Haiti, has also established a control room, has also established helplines. There are some 50 to 80 Indian community members there. The embassy is in touch with all of them. We are monitoring the situation. As you know, there is a crisis in Haiti, and if required, we will evacuate. We are ready to evacuate, and if required, we will do that. Our embassy in Santo Domingo is monitoring the situation, and the ministry also is fully monitoring the situation. Ayushi, regarding your question on NSA's visit, there is a context to it. As you are aware, Prime Minister himself is invested and is keen to promote peace and stability in the region. He has been in touch with several Arab leaders in this connection. NSA's visit to Israel, which took place at the onset of the holy month of Ramadan, carries forward these efforts. NSA called on the Israeli Prime Minister. He also met with his Israeli counterpart, and he also met several other senior leaders and discussed developments in Gaza. He emphasized on the delivery of humanitarian aid and assistance and discussed steps being taken or undertaken for the release of hostages. So that is the visit to Israel of National Security Advisor. Emerson, as far as your question regarding Taiwan, we have economic trade, people-to-people linkages with your country, with Taiwan, and the labor mobility agreement that we signed is one of the recent steps in that direction. Will we go forward for more questions? Please.
So Amit from India Today, if you could share the details of Prime Minister's visit to Bhutan, and will the announcement of the elections tomorrow, when the MCC will come into effect, will it have any impact on the visit as well?
Okay. Please.
Sir, this is Dhairya Maheshwari from Sputnik India. Sir, my question is regarding the Zelensky's peace formula and the upcoming Switzerland summit. So the Switzerland's foreign minister, he has said that he wants to invite Russia, while the Western countries are opposed to inviting Moscow to the talks. So, sir, will it be possible to know India's stance on whether it supports Russia's participation in these talks? And, sir, if you allow me, I have another question on the counterterrorism, India-US counterterrorism meeting that took place earlier this month in Washington, D.C. Sir, could you give us an update on what's the status of the 10 people that NIA had identified for attacking the San Francisco consulate, sir? Is there any progress in the investigation from the US side? Thank you.
Okay, please.
So I'm Sandeep Dikshit from the Tribune. This is all related to my Sputnik colleague's question. Is there an update on people taken to Russia and whether more people have been discharged from the Russian embassy, and whether similar news has come to you about Ukraine too?
Okay. Reza?
Reza from the Hindustan Times. I just wanted to ask you about China's repeated statement about putting the border issue in its appropriate place. I mean, we have made it pretty clear to them that there cannot be a normalization without peace and tranquility on the border. But again, we see this sort of a statement. Could I have your views on that?
Okay. Thank you. So, Amit, regarding your question, yesterday the Prime Minister of Bhutan met with our Prime Minister. You must have seen the press release. He invited our Prime Minister to visit Bhutan. As far as the visit itself is concerned, you will come to know of it as and when it is announced, and when we take a decision in that regard. The visit has been accepted, as you would have seen if you followed social media relevant handles. So that is where it is. You will come to know more details in that regard. A friend from Sputnik, your question regarding, we have been very consistent in our position on Russia-Ukraine war. We continue to encourage peaceful resolution of the conflict through dialogue and diplomacy. That is our standard position, which you are aware. And we remain open to engaging all ways and means that could help achieve this objective. So that is our stand on the question that you asked. Regarding India-CT talks, after these talks were held, they were held at the Joint Secretary level. We had the talks in Washington. We did issue a press release, so I would refer you to that. The press release has all the details of, when you have counterterrorism dialogue, all issues which are of concern to both sides, security related to counterterrorism, all are discussed. So I would refer you to the press release that we issued. You will get a sense of our discussion, the way it went forward. Sandeep, regarding your question on Russia, you would have seen a statement that we issued, and we have been doing so repeatedly. We are pressing very hard with the Russian authorities for early discharge of our people who are stuck there. Last time we had told you that we are 20 odd people thereabout who've approached us. We also have 2 people who passed away. On that, I have an update. The paperwork of their mortal remains has been done. The funeral agency which we have engaged has been handed over the bodies. We are in touch with the family. We are also in touch with the Russian authorities, and hopefully we will have the mortal remains in India by the end of this week, that is on Sunday or thereabout. So hopefully on 16th or 17th they'll be here and then handed over to the family. So that is the update on Russia. On Reza, on your question regarding China, you would have seen that few days back our External Affairs Minister spoke at a media event where he elaborated on India-China ties. So I would request you to look at his comments. You will understand how we are positioning ourselves, what is our point of view on that, how do we take things forward. So please, that is for you. Do we have more questions there? Please.
Hi, I'm Nirmala with the Straits Times. I just wanted to ask clarification on this 20-odd Indians, because the CBI had said 35 Indians. They've identified 35 Indians in Russia. So is there an update on the number of Indians stuck on the front line?
See, we will give you a number based on the people who've contacted us for help. So these are people who've contacted us. Several of them have been discharged. Some of them have actually also come back. So that is the figure that we have in mind. Beyond that, we will update you more as when we come to know more about these details. So that is where it is. I thought the CBI, they had issued a press release after the search that they had conducted here, and they had implicated several people, taken documentary evidence, incriminating evidence, and they had launched a search here in several cities. So the case, several people have been arrested, and the case has been opened, and things are going forward. As far as the number is concerned, this is what we told you before, we gave you before, 20 plus people are the ones who contacted us. So that is where we are. On that, Nirmala, your question, people were detained for questioning and searches were, pardon me, I stand corrected on the CBI part. Hello?
Again, following up on the Russian question, this is Karlol from the Hindu. How many Indians have really returned? How many were discharged by the Russians, and how many were you able to bring back so far? Is there a number, sir?
So, the several people, we got them released, and of them, how many of them have come back, we don't have an idea, because we got released, some of them wanted to come back, some of them did not want to come back. They wanted to be there in Russia itself. So, hopefully, now that you have put this pointed question, we'll have an answer for you soon. But, our sense is that some 4 to 6, 5, 7, 8 people have come back.
सर विजयलक्ष्मी हूँ इंडिया टीवी से। कलोल ने हालांकि पूछा क्या हम कोई डेडलाइन सेट करके चल पा रहे हैं कि कब तक हम जो बाकी बचे लोग वहाँ पर हैं उनको भारत वापस ला पाएंगे, और रशिया में पिछली जो प्रेस वार्ता थी आपने काफ़ी बताया था, उसको लेकर के कोई नया अपडेट?
विजयलक्ष्मी जी, आपके इस सवाल पर हम लोगों ने कई दफ़ा स्टेटमेंट जारी किए हैं और बताया है कि हम लोग पुरजोर कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि हमारे जो लोग वहाँ फंसे हुए हैं उनको निकाल के यहाँ लाया जाए, और इसके लिए जो रशियन अथॉरिटीज़ है, जो सरकार है, उनकी अलग अलग इकाई हैं, सबसे हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं। ये लोग दूर दराज के इलाके में हैं तो लाना भी थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है, तो हम लोग पुरजोर कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि लोग जल्दी से जल्दी वापस आ जाए। सिद्धार्थ?
So Siddhant from Beyond. Sir, when it comes to Maldives, the Indian troops which were present there, have they been replaced? The deadline was this month. So all of them have been replaced, or if any number is there?
Yeah. Abhishek?
Sir, Abhishek from CNN News 18 this side. Recently we saw some pleading or some requests coming from other people from other nationalities also regarding Indian embassies in Moscow, helping them get evacuated or discharged, or getting back to their homes, especially from people from Nepal. Are we trying to help them, or have they reached out to Indian embassies to help, and what is our position on that?
So we've seen some reports in this regard. We haven't been approached formally. So we'll see. At this point in time, as I told you, our focus is to get our people back from Russia, people who are stuck. So we'll take it forward as and when we are approached. Siddhant, regarding your question on Maldives. So there, our understanding is that the first team of personnel who were operating the LH, that has been completed. So the first batch of people, the first team that was to be replaced, that has been completed. And the turnaround has happened. You have another question, Amit?
Just in addition to the Russian question, sir, the Belarus foreign minister was in India, and there have been media reports about certain individuals, Indian nationals, claiming that they were detained in Belarus and were handed over to Russia, and eventually landed up on the war front. They were seeking help. So was this issue raised with the Belarus? Because their response is that they are unaware of these developments.
See, the Belarusian foreign minister was here at our invitation, the invitation of External Affairs Minister. He had several meetings. He met External Affairs Minister, obviously. He also met the Commerce Minister. He met with Fertilizers, Health and Pharmaceutical Minister, Mr. Mansukh Mandavia. Several issues were discussed. On this particular issue that you've raised, I'm not aware whether this was raised, but we are not, I haven't come across what you're saying. There are movement of people continues to happen across the world. So this particular issue, whether it was flagged or not, this specific detail, I don't have, but I can come back to you with more details on that. So we have somewhere between 75 to 90 people, that is my sense, but some 60 odd people are the ones who are, 50 to 60 people who have registered with our embassy to come back if need be. There are also, people who are working in Sisters of Charity, missionaries of charity, nuns. They may or may not, it is there, we have reached out, so 30 odd of them are there. So if the situation arises, we are ready to evacuate everybody. We've established a control room here. We've established a control room in our embassy, and we are ready to evacuate if required. Yeah, Huma, you have another question?
I'm Huma Siddiqui. I just wanted to check what is the status of the 8th person who is still in Qatar. When is he expected to come back?
So last time I had answered this question a week before or 2 weeks before, that the gentleman, he has certain requirements to fulfill there. Once those requirements are fulfilled, then he'll return to India. If there are no more questions, then...
What is going on, and on Myanmar, if you could update us what is going on, because we are seeing the reports of rebels and fightings, and there are a lot of Indians also stuck there. Has MEA updated its advisory, or has people approached MEA that they want to be evacuated, or things are gone?
See, on Myanmar, we had issued an advisory for the Rakhine State, where the situation there is very delicate. Security situation has deteriorated. We told all Indian nationals to evacuate themselves, move away from there. And we also told our nationals who are there or otherwise from anywhere else not to travel to that part. The situation in Myanmar remains of cause of concern because of the deterioration in security situation. There is a lot of fighting happening there, and security situation is not conducive. But we call upon all sides. We want peace and stability in the country. We want constructive dialogue in the country, and we want inclusive federal democracy to be established through dialogue and through constructive engagement. Hello? Yeah.
Again, this is Kolol once again. This is about the CAA. Sir, you have mentioned Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Bangladesh while explaining the context of the CAA. And my question is, when we talk about domestic laws and yet define them within the context of neighboring countries, isn't it a bit of an intervention in the internal affairs of these countries that you are naming through our internal laws?
Kalol, on this particular issue, I had said what I had to say. Also, I made a reference to post-partition history. So I would urge you that please have a look at our statement. That will give you an answer as to why we have taken this step. Sandeep, you had a question?
About Ukraine also, are you finding out, because they are also short of men in the battlefield?
On Ukraine, we have not been contacted. No Indian national has contacted us who's in Ukraine, who's stuck there, who has a problem on this account, on this particular account. So on that, that is the answer from us. Thank you. Take care. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this press engagement once again. I have no announcements to make, so let's open the floor for questions. We go from there. Rishabh?
So, good evening, Rishabh from Times Now. So, early this morning, the State Department of United States have made a comment on Citizenship Amendment Act, saying that US is concerned about the implementation of CAA. Any response from MEA?
Okay. Siddhant?
Sir, connecting question, Siddhant from Vion. We have seen reaction coming from the UN and Pakistan as well. Any reaction to that when it comes to the CAA law?
Okay. Huma?
Sir, I'm Huma Siddiqui from the Financial Express. I have two questions. One, yesterday the first 2+2 secretary level talks happened between India and Brazil. If you can share details. And number two, there's a lot of violence going on in Haiti, and there are around 40-50 Indians. So, are you planning to get them back? Or?
Okay. Ayushi?
So this is Ayushi Agarwal from ANI. Can we have some details of the meeting that took place in Israel between our NSA and Israeli PM?
A friend there?
I'm Emerson Lim from Central News Agency of Taiwan. India and Taiwan signed labor mobility agreement recently. And few days ago, Modi ji mentioned Taiwan leaders during a semiconductor plant foundation stone laying event in Gujarat, which was participated by Taiwan's Deputy Foreign Minister virtually. So, are these signals for greater India-Taiwan proximity? And did India receive any concern from any country? Thank you.
Okay. So, any more questions regarding CAA so that we can club it all together? Please.
As a similar question, actually the Taliban spokesperson has also come up with a concern saying that the CAA should be for all persecuted people, irrespective of religion. So there has been a lot of criticism coming in from, globally as well, regarding exclusion of Muslims in the law. So any comment particularly? Thank you.
Okay, so let me first come to the CAA part. As you are well aware, the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 is an internal matter of India and is in keeping with India's inclusive traditions and a long-standing commitment to human rights. The Act grants a safe haven to persecuted minorities belonging to Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, Jain, Parsi and Christian communities from Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Bangladesh who have entered India on or before 31st December 2014. The CAA is about giving citizenship, not about taking away citizenship. So this must be underlined. It addresses the issue of statelessness, provides human dignity, and supports human rights. As regards the US State Department's statement on the implementation of CAA, and there have been comments made by several others, we are of the view that it is misplaced, misinformed, and unwarranted. India's constitution guarantees freedom of religion to all its citizens. There are no grounds for any concern or treatment of minorities. Vote bank politics should not determine views about a laudable initiative to help those in distress. Lectures by those who have a limited understanding of India's pluralistic traditions and the region's post-partition history are best not attempted. Partners and well-wishers of India should welcome the intent with which this step has been taken. So that is our point on CAA to the questions that you asked. Kumar, regarding your question on 2+2, this is the first time that we had this dialogue with Brazil involving Foreign Ministry and Defense Ministry. Brazil, as you know, that is a strategic partner